All right, here we are. We're going to be looking at the book of Ruth in your Old Testament. Page 1323 we are on. We're going to be looking at Ruth 3, verse 4. We'll start in verse 4 and move along from there for a while. How are you guys feeling about your pronunciations? Do you like your pronunciations? Why don't we try one more time tonight? Let's do some pronunciation just to see how we're doing. So, verse 4, the he. Who would like to start at verse 4?
Okay.
All right.
The he.
Cool.
Boshku V'yadaat Eth Hamakom Asher Yishkab Sham Lubat V'Belit Marglo Taiv V'Shakati V'Hu Yagiv Lok Eth Asher Ta'asim.
Okay.
And he was
I'm thinking that that's not a vav consecutive, it's just a vav. So it will come about.
okay, and it will come about. I think that bait is a preposition, and I think that whole. What the Holem's doing on the end, but I think it's from Chicago.
The Holem vav.
Yeah.
Well, what does it look like?
The Holem vav. I was thinking maybe a shirt.
No, a shirt would have a dot in the middle of the.
Yeah, I thought maybe the dot moved for some reason.
No, the dot didn't move because it's still there in mine.
Pronouns suffix is.
Oh, okay.
3ms. So, if this is from Shekab, which means what?
I think it's to sleep, isn't it? To lay down.
To lay down. And it has a bait on it. What do we know it is?
Infinitive.
Infinitive construct. Very good. So this is the counterfinitive construct plus bait plus 3ms suffix. So bait with the infinitive, similar to Greek, would be when, and then the 3ms is going to kind of give it subject, so-called subject to the infinitive. So when he lays down.
Okay, so it'll come about when he lays down. I guess a reversing vav and a 3ms.
Well, it's in 3ms. Well, okay, it is a.
Oh, it's from Yada, isn't it?
Yada. So how would you parse it?
It's going to be the infinitive absolute.
No.
Is it cow?
Yeah.
Perfect. 2FS.
Let's reverse and vote.
Okay. So, and you lie down. And you will lie down. No, I mean you will know.
You will know. There you go.
The place, which
she's really probably telling her, pay attention to, no.
Okay.
Almost like in a command kind of sense, right?
Yeah. Know the place which he lies down.
Mm-hmm. And Sean was kind of redundant in English. There. Know the place where he lies down there, right? You would put that in English. Which were you again then?
The Uvat.
I don't think it's given us any help. No, I started to talk You're looking at the Galit word?
No, the Uvat.
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 Oh. Uvat. Well. Alright, well we know the U is an U, right? And so, what do you think? Well, what do you think that is? Think about that a second. You might be able to think about that and know what that is.
Is there an olive and daughter?
No, the Tav is a subformity.
Is it bow?
Yep.
Okay.
Did everybody see that?
Bow to go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how'd you parse that then?
Well, it's a cow, perfect, but with the reversing vav, and it's kind of used again like an imperative.
Okay.
Right, so it's, and you will go, it's the future tense in a sense, uses an imperative. And we do that in English. You will go to your room. But this isn't used in a nasty kind of sense. But
Okay.
maybe even there's a suggestion more than an imperative, and that's why they're perfect here. But we've seen this before in Ruth.
So, and you will go. And is that from? Is it Galah? Is it uncover? Is that what that is?
Mm-hmm. These are all parsed the same, except this one is in a cow. What is it?
Pio.
Variation of the second root letter Pio. That's right. Very good.
So, and uncover. Place at his feet.
And his feet.
And he.
Well, now wait a minute. What does that ending look like? We know it's from Shekov, right? We just had that. What's that mean?
To lie down. I completely skipped that word.
All right. Yeah, I'm sorry. But let's just deal with that. So, what's the ending look like? The right answer is nothing you've ever seen.
Which one are you looking at?
The last word on the line, the whole line before, is Vashakov, but you can't pronounce it, right? Now, if you're not careful, you think it's a T ending, right? Which is the first common singular,
Mm-hmm.
but that doesn't fit. I. But as it is, it's not pronounceable. And it's got that little circle above it. What do we have? Ketiv Kare.
Yep.
So it's written this way, but how would you say it? See the kof for Kare over in the margin to the left? Right above that, you see the same word but with the yod left off.
Okay.
So in other words, what we're saying is that this is the same Cal 2FS form.
Okay.
So it shouldn't have the yod on it.
So, and he will lie down.
Mm-hmm.
And he.
I don't think that's in there either. Okay, let's take a look at that. What do you think the yod is in that word?
I think it's the yodel.
Okay, it's very likely a performative. All right, so we have a gimel and a yod and a dalet. So we have the gid there. Do you know the vocabulary word gid?
Gido?
No. But I have a dagish in the gimel. Why would I have a dagish in the gimel?
Maybe it's a nipple?
Could be a nifal. So if it's a nifal, it could be a nifal, but it could be a noon. There could be a noon there for some reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
Close.
Gosh.
Nagad. Now that is a vocabulary word you have, right? So it could be nagad, couldn't it? What's nagad mean?
To inhabit, dwell.
That's Nagash. No, that's the Nagash is to draw near.
Reach out and strike. Go.
No, it means to report or declare.
There's so many of them.
To eat lizards.
And that's what it is. But we still, so the vocabulary is noon, gimel, dalet. I still have some odd stuff. Where'd the yod? Where'd the hirik yod come from? Patak under the performative. We haven't had this yet. What do you think that the patak under the performative and the hirik yod could mean?
Yeah. No, I mean.
So on the tip of your tongue, you're gonna get this. No. There's one stem that had a hirik yod in it.
No, I can't remember.
Hifil. Causative. Causative active.
Hifile?
Where's the hit pile? This is now. So this is a hifil from Nagad. Means to say, really, to announce or to declare to you. Right, so here we have a hifil, imperfect, 3ms from Nagad to declare. Right. Now look at that. See how that all works? The hifil got the A class vowel under the performative, got the patak under the performative. Noon is assimilated into the gimel, and then we have the hirik yod internalized for the hifil, right? Because he spelled hifil with the hirik yod, right? And so that's what we have going on there. Okay, so and he will announce to you.
That which
all right, what's the vocabulary form here? What's the tav? Performative. What's the noon? Have you ever had a noon sufformative?
Unless it's part of like
The end of the word.
Yeah. Don't have that. But we did have noon stuck at the end of words sometimes. Remember the paragogic noon? So it's just kind of stuck there for happiness. Right?
that's not working.
Why aren't you happy?
Well, I know why.
It's not helping.
It's got the little circle above it, which means it's a misspelling, right? With a code.
Well, there isn't. That's not a Ketiv Kare. But the noon thing there is you can kind of ignore it. It's a paragogic noon, and so You have the form tictily.
Occasionally, just
Yeah, what vocabulary form do you have? What's it from?
You will.
Yeah, what he will tell you what you should do. That's right. Asa, the hay drops out. Really, the hay becomes a yod, and suffirmative's a yod too. So that kind of thing. All right, that was nice. Very good. All right, who would you like to pick up from there, Ellen?
all right.
It's got to be Cyrus. All right, Cyrus.
Should have told you.
October. Ela Kol Asher Tomeri
All right, and see right in the beginning.
Cyrus, you're going to have to speak up. The microphone isn't picking you up very well.
All right, and see there's some vowel points there without consonants. That's pretty weird, isn't it?
Yes.
All right.
So Adonai, got it.
All right. No. Let's deal with that later. Okay, go ahead and see if you can give a translation of that then.
October, and she said, something. I don't think there's much help here.
Eleya. And she said
to her,
that's right, very good.
Cole, with, I don't remember that. Cole, is that the, not preposition, but the, is it a preposition?
Adjective.
Each and every?
Yeah, that's right, all.
Okay.
Good.
She said to her, all that
Yeah.
you said?
2FS.
Yeah. All that you said. That word.
What's it from?
Is it from saw?
Means
To do.
to do. The aleph is what?
Is it a Jessup? Or one of the participles? Or is it Axel?
That's right, very good.
Can I ask you a question? How did you get to her from Dalaha in the first line there, the second word?
Well, the L, the preposition L, those prepositions take the type 2 endings, and the A is the 3FS ending, but it has that yod in there because it takes type 2 endings, right? Remember way back then? And now is the time when you're going to run into, okay, what's going on? Pop the grammar open. Let's see, where's it popped right open to? Phenomenal suffixes.
L is 2 or 4.
And, okay, page 93 in the grammar then. type 2 suffixes. Bam, look under 3FS. Echa.
I understand. Okay.
Because remember the type 2s have those yods?
That's for the plural nouns, right?
And the plural nouns take type 2, but the prepositions, at least some of them take type 2. Yeah, but that's good, because you forgot it, which is a very positive development. Right? And so now, you go back, and now now, see the process we're in now? We've shifted from trying to, get all this stuff. Now it's been long enough that we're in a new process now, right? Now we're trying to retain what we've learned. And this is exactly the process. What happened there? Refer back to the grammar. And this is when, now how many times have you learned this? Maybe 3. When you get up to 7, you'll really have it. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to be referring back to the grammar, reference grammar now, right? So that's how we're going to do it. Huh? All right. So now let's deal with the stuff. Thank you. Let's deal with the stuff on the beginning of that line there. Okay. It's in verse 5. It's in verse 5. I've got some vowel points. What's going on? I've got a letter A. See the letter A? Let's go down to the bottom apparatus. Find verse 5 and see letter A after the verse 5. Multiple manuscripts. The Q is Qumran. A lie. All right, which is uses the same vowel points that are up there. All right. And what does that mean?
For me.
To me. So some manuscripts say that which you said to me I will do. Right? And some manuscripts just say that which you said I will do. Okay, so that takes care of that problem. Not really theologically significant, is it?
So they put the vowel points in there just to help bring attention, but it means nothing. This is for the apparatus.
Yeah, just so to draw your attention to the apparatus. This kind of a deal where, okay, we're not sure what the text is here, but, in any case, to me is implied, right? And that doesn't make any theological difference or practical difference, really, because it's implied if it's there or not. Well, if it's not there, it's there, it's not implied, but if it's not there, it's implied. You see what I mean?
Sure.
All right, why don't you carry on and do some verse 6 there?
Okay. Bate red.
Look how soon the ought not comes right there.
Yeah. So we're going to stop it.
No, go ahead.
Goren. Vata as. Kako. Asher. Sivata Hamota.
Okay, nice. Now, how are we going to translate this?
We'll start with Vate red. And we'll go.
What's the tav?
Makes the T sound.
Yeah? Why is it there?
Maybe because it's part of the word.
Could be part of the word, because we only have 3 consonants other than the vav there. Could be part of the word. What else could it be?
Could be could be part of the verb, as in tictol.
That's right, performative. Okay. Well, do you know a word, tered?
No.
I mean, just because you don't know it doesn't mean it's not a word. Just because I don't know it doesn't mean there are a lot of words in the Old Testament I don't know and you don't know, right? But we don't know that word. And the reason we don't know that word is because it isn't a word.
No word.
Right? So the tav is a performative. So what word could this be? You think we have something dropped out, right?
Yeah.
So we have a weak letter dropped out.
Which could be the aleph, could be a noon, could be a yod.
Okay, what do you think it is?
One of those.
Try it.
Nered. Marad, Yarad, as in go down. And you will go down?
No.
Yigtol, Tigtol. No. Yigtol. Tigtol. There's not a Tigtol today.
Yigtol, Tigtol, Tigtol. So throw those two forms. So it's either a 3FS or 2MS.
You or she.
What do you think it is in this context?
She.
She. And she
Went down.
went down. Go Ren.
Big fan of Wrens, are you?
Hmm?
Go Wrens. Wrens. Wren.
What's a Go Red?
Go red or go Wren?
Go Ren.
Is that noon?
Final noon.
Is that supposed to be there, or is it just very?
Not pedagogic, part of the word.
Okay. Let me check my book here. Threshing floor.
Okay.
Go down to the threshing floor, and yes. And is that Todd supposed to be there, or is it? I think it's verbal. I think it's a performative.
Yep, you bet you.
So go down to the threshing floor, and
she went
she went
down to the threshing floor.
Good point.
And
that's from a song, huh? Back to where it was before.
yeah,
And she did.
she did.
All.
Some manuscripts, if you read the note under 6A, some manuscripts
Don't have it like that.
don't have just have coal instead of cuckold. So here, ka is like. She did like all. Some manuscripts just say she did all. The same situation. But she did like all. She did just as all, or she did like. Probably the best English translation anyway. She did everything.
Which. I don't know that, but I think mother-in-law is involved in the other words.
Okay, she did everything which her mother-in-law. Now, what vocabulary are we dealing with? Anybody have a guess?
On the Sutta,
Mm-hmm.
the intended,
No. It is, in fact, a cow perfect 3FS. Well, let me take that back. I think it's a PO, perfect 3FS.
Because you got a lot of doggishes in there.
You got a dogish in the vowel, so that makes it a PO. Plus you have the seri under the first root letter. Seri, not seri.
I'll talk.
Here.
So yeah, I'm not sure what that would be. So what?
Well, I almost said it.
Is it Savant?
He turns to a top right there. If you remember that. We could look back in our grammar and see that too. In those weak verbs.
I don't remember what Savant is.
What does Sava mean?
Return?
No. That's right.
what was it?
Commanded.
All right, look on page 160 in your grammar. Good page to dog ears. There you go. You see, this is going to give us the paradigms for the cow perfect verbs. We see the strong verb on the left. Now it's giving us all these weak verbs. We're dealing with a word that's third position, hey, weak. You see that right there? right before where it says doubly weak. Okay, we're looking down, and our form is the second form. See how the hay turns to a tav in that situation?
What did it originally start with? That one above it?
Well, bana is the word, and that hay ends up turning to a tav or a yod. Remember, we see that happen too. Hay turns to yod or tav in that paradigm, or even drops out.
So the word would be Sade Shurake. Is that right?
Sade vav hay. Yeah, it's not really a shurik. That isn't a shurik. That's a dogish forte. That's not a vowel. That's confusing because it looks the same, right? But that's actually a dogish forte because it's PL. That doesn't make it a shurik vowel. And I know it's not a vowel because, well, tell me why you know it's not a vowel. Because it's got a vowel point under it, right? So you can't have a vowel with a vowel point under it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's as I was reading, I was like, wait a minute. How am I going to pronounce?
Yeah, it's a little tough. It's a little tough. Okay, just remember, if it were easy, everybody would do it, and you wouldn't be so special. Okay, excellent.
So can we finish that? I mean, push it up a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
So when she went down to the threshing floor,
And she did
all that, because I'm trying to figure out how the PL would be translated. All that her mother-in-law commanded?
Commanded, yeah. Well, which makes it intensive. So, my previous idea that it was the perfect form used kind of as an imperative because there were more suggestions might have been off base, because here the word command is used, plus it's in the PL, so that would be intensive. So maybe it is more like, okay, you will do this, and you will do that, and you will do this.
Yeah.
All right, who do you want to do verse 7?
My lovely wife.
That's a good choice. Very good choice.
Privilege.
This is actually a fun one.
Yeah.
No, I mean, really fun, yeah.
Vayakol, Boaz, Vayeshet,
Vayeshta.
Vayeshet, Vayitav,
Vayitav, yeah, that's funny, isn't it?
Libo, Vayavo, Lishkav, Vikte, Ha'arima, Vatavo, Valat, Vatagal. Margalota, okay,
Yeah, Margalotai.
Vatishkav.
Yeah. I don't know if you could really teach this in the youth group as a real dating method or anything, but
I think I will.
all right.
So, the first word, I recognize call, or, yeah. I don't know why the olive is there. Unless it's a verb that I've not remembered.
Well, Vayokal, call, right?
Vayokal.
Okay, we know what the vav is. That's going to be a vav conversive. What's the yod?
So is that a yikful?
The yod's performative. So
3 MS.
So I'm left with, yeah, that's right. It's actually a perfect, and it's having similar vowel pointing to Amar because it begins with an olive, right? So it's a cow preterite, you could call it, or cow imperfect with a vowel conversive, same thing. Cow preterite, We like the word preterite because it's shorter, right? So cal, P-R-E-T, period, cal preterite, 3 ms from
A call?
a call. What does that mean? That's one of our words, I'm quite sure.
Be able
No?
to eat.
To eat, that's right.
Oh, okay. So, and he ate?
Right?
And Boaz ate.
Very nice.
And she.
Well, he.
Oh. Yesh. Yeah, did not, or.
Well, again, the vav will be our conversive. The yod is a performative, right? So what I have of the stem is the sheen tav.
Oh, so I was looking at the top of the soft formative.
Well, it could be, except my vav has a talk under it, so I would expect that to be a preterite form. If it were perfect, my vav would have a shabbat under it. Don't make me look at the grammar again. But remember that about the shabbat, right? Okay, so this is going to be a preterite, which means imperfect form. So, shata, that's right.
That's okay.
Uh-huh.
So and Boaz ate and he drank.
Yep.
And he was pleased.
Okay.
And and he Bo went for
No. Bo for go has to have an aleph in it.
Oh, that's right.
This is libo. So what's the O on the end of this?
Suffix.
3 ms. Yep. So what is lib, or doubling the bait, lavav, or lav?
Not hard.
Yep.
And it made his heart glad.
So he was happy. His heart, yeah, that's right. And his heart was good. Yeah, it's all good, Kelly.
I have a question on that.
Yeah.
Those urban church myths. I'm sure I heard once before in the past that, the Old Testament, that liver and heart, the word for liver, heart is a kind of contemporary society. That's what we use as the organ that brings, we associate with joy, where liver might have, but that means heart, right? Heart, mind, or will.
Well, Greek spalagma. Is it spalagma?
Well, one of the words is splagma, which means bowels, but no, this means heart. It sounds like liver maybe here, but it doesn't. I don't think it means liver.
My happy bowels for you.
Just because it's lavav doesn't mean it's the liver.
But yeah, in Greek, spalagma.
Splagma is literally bowel, but it means compassion.
It means a deep-seated emotion.
But remember, the New Testament also uses the word heart in that way, cardia, with all my heart kind of idea. So there's 2 different organs that you see in the New Testament used for emotion, the seat of emotion.
But in Hebrews, clearly here, because you have the tav and the tov, the yitov, and the lav is the heart.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So his heart was good. His heart was pleased. How do you want to do that? All right.
Now here's the bow.
Here's Bo, right? Very good.
And he went to lie down.
Excellent. Now, what kind of word is lishkav?
Well,
Shakav means to lay down. It's a verb, right? You have a lamed on the front of it, so what's it have to be? No. What kind of verbal gets a prepositional prefix?
Oh, perfect.
No, there's only one kind of verbal that ever gets a prepositional prefix. infinitive construct. Okay, so he went to lay down, right, you could say. However you want to translate that, you don't necessarily have to translate it like an English infinitive, but just so you know, it's an infinitive construct. And I'm going to say, because it has a dogish in the middle root letter, I'm going to say that that's probably a PL. Check me on that, would you please?
The Lishke,
Mm-hmm.
the Roberts thinks it's a cow.
It's a cow? Okay. Well.
They've been known to be wrong.
Well, it's a begod kafat letter, and it's the reason there's a dogish in there is it's begod kafat letter, and it's a silent shaval, so that's why that happened. So it's not a PO, it's a cow. I'll go to the comments. Okay,
Right.
but notice, I needed to check myself, right? I knew I needed to check myself, so I asked, right? Check me. So I'm not going to make confident assertions that I shouldn't be confident about, right? So there's no shame in checking yourself. Right, Colby?
I've never really had to.
You would really do it, I guess, then.
I mean, I suppose there would be shame, at least for other people.
Yeah. All right. Kim, go ahead then.
Alright, so we went to lie down. It's day. Looking at my little help here.
I think we get some help on that, yeah.
At the end.
Mm-hmm.
Of the
Yep, the heap. At the end of the heap of grain.
Oh.
They're on the threshing floor, right?
Mm-hmm.
What a place to sleep.
Yeah. Well, maybe he's going to sleep there. Why?
Maybe pass out.
Protected?
Yeah. So nobody's going to be coming and taking
That'll be good.
the edge of the heap of his grain.
Or maybe he drank a little bit too much with barley liquor there and
Maybe
passed
that's why
out.
heart was
Well, maybe he didn't want to drive home on the donkey because he was.
His heart was a little too glad he fell asleep.
Yeah.
Alright.
All right.
So we're going to lie down at the end of the heap of grain.
Now there's an ought not. Notice the ought not.
Yes.
Comma.
And this is she went.
Good. Excellent.
And she went Lot. In secrecy.
Excellent.
To go and she goes.
no problem there.
Seems like that's one I should know.
You should, because we've just been using it. Look at the next word. Whenever we get stuck, we can look at the next word and get some help.
Oh. Looks like feet.
Right?
The place is feet.
Right.
So,
Good.
and
So what'd she do to his feet before?
she ran in secrecy to I'm hearing uncovered somewhere, but I'm not seeing where it is.
Yeah, well, that word means to uncover.
Gal?
Yeah, gala, to uncover.
Oh.
To uncover his feet, to uncover from his feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not saying what. This is not saying what she's uncovering. We can assume it's his garment, right?
Okay. So, and she uncovered Mara Galotea, the place of his feet.
Okay.
Latishkov and she lay down.
Excellent. The title of my sermon was How to Marry a Man with Cold Feet.
I'll shake my head now, but I'm so stealing that.
What did you steal?
What?
What did you? You got your haircut really short.
Yeah. Jim Nix has a part to play in that.
All right, Ken, who would you like to do the next verse?
Who wants to do it?
Mariah is Vahotsi.
Now, we had that as a vocabulary tonight, didn't we? That's pretty exciting, isn't it? Isn't it exciting when we actually see something from the grammar lesson right in the text?
Hotsi, half.
Yeah.
In half.
Mm-hmm.
From half. From half.
In.
What is he in half? Halila, in half of night. Midnight.
In the middle of the night.
In half of night. Midnight. Okay.
Well, it's not necessarily, I don't think it's necessarily midnight, but, half, but I don't think it's quite that specific. In the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night. That's better than midnight.
It could have been midnight, but I just say in the middle of the
night.
Yeah.
With my non-magnifying glasses, that's not a cloud, is it?
No, Kate.
Hey, okay. I can't see that well. Maya, hey, Rod. Maya, hey, Rod.
Vaya Herod.
Herod. Eish.
Mm-hmm.
Maya, Lafate. Vahaga. Or is that a Sarai under there by the arrow?
Sarai.
Yeha.
Vaya Lafate.
Say that again?
Vaya Lafate.
Vayela Fate. Then Vaha. Yay, that's a Sarai under there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a noon.
Vahaneha.
Vahine.
Vahane.
Hine. Right, yeah, right.
Okay, there we go. Esher. Shakavet. Maragi Lataya.
Lotive. Yep. Or Lotive. All right. Let's see what we can do.
Before he goes, just why did she have such a feet? Because she wore them up. They had servant. That's what they did in those days.
Is that really?
She's they say that's why Solomon had so many concubines. Some of them just wore his feet at night.
So warming feet is a euphemism.
No, it's literal.
It's a type of Christ where warming feet is uncle's feet.
I see it now.
This is washing your warm. See the typology?
Stop it. Stop that. We just got another cameraman to keep that up.
Anyways, midnight was
Heresy.
Do we know though? Do we really know why? I mean, is that the reason why? Your feet look warm. Let me uncover them so I can warm them up.
It's in one of the things here, I think. Before we get something.
because he's at discretion.
It's misinterpreted. Means something one of the means.
No, I do not think it. I do not think that it's symbolic for anything other than the fact that she's getting physically close to him, but in an appropriate way. She's in a sense. I mean, she's not actually crawling in bed with him entirely. She's kind of getting to his feet, right? Sort of snuggling up to his feet. And I would take it just what it is, right?
So the Christian things that they should do at the end of dates.
So is that what I'm, when I go finish my Sunday school lesson, I say the reason they uncovered the feet, well, because it was cold.
Well, it was undoubtedly a little bit chilly. It's in the fall, and she could lay down at his feet and not uncover his feet, and they're all just sleeping on the threshing floor. He'll not notice her. Uncovers his feet, snuggles up to his feet. Now he notices, and then verse coming up describes how he notices. If she's just down, laying behind his feet, then he's probably not going to notice. So get his attention.
Okay.
But get his attention in a way that is not too risque. Not too risque. But it's a bit forward.
Okay.
Maybe he winked at her during the day. Alright, where are we at here? Alright, verse 8.
And after midnight, or after half of the night, the man hates. So we have a law of conversive.
Mm-hmm. I believe we get help from Einspar on that word.
Preformative, what's the left face?
Now don't forget Vayecherad. So in the middle of the night. I was thinking of that same song. I go walking in my sleep. Maybe Boaz was thinking of that song too. So in the middle of the night, the man, and it came about, it was the middle of the night, and the man, what did he do? You see where we're looking, the word after night?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And he aroused.
That's right.
I know that word. Notice. Saw. Notice.
Well, you might translate it that way. What does Einspar tell us? Anybody help me? Trembled. See it translated, the man was startled. That's the sound of it. Was he really afraid? I don't know. I mean, maybe it does indicate that he really feared because something was all over his feet. And he woke up and couldn't move his feet or something, Thought he was trying to run in his sleep.
Maybe somebody was trying to get to his grave.
That's right. Or grabbing him or something. Okay, so he trembled and
he lost faith. Twist?
He twisted. Well,
Squirm?
the idea of startling and turning to look, is probably the idea. He got startled by realizing something at his feet, and he twisted to look at what was.
And behold, the man.
Well, now let's try to parse Vayelafate right here. Vayelafate. All right, we know we have a preterite because of the vav with the patak under it. What's the yod? Performative. So I have lafat for my vocabulary word, but I have odd things happening. I can't explain if it's a cow. I have a dogish in the first root letter and a comment under it.
We always look for comments in the field. Imperfect consonant.
Bingo. Give that man a gold star. Nifal. You just learned that, remember?
Where do you go, gold star?
Remember? Dogish in the first root letter, comment under the first root letter. Nifal. Imperfect with the root vav conversive or nifal preterite. Right? 3 MS. You see it? We actually have a nifal right here. And we just studied it. Pretty amazing, eh?
Okay, thank you.
Alright, carry on then.
Okay, so he noticed, or he was startled by her, he noticed her and he twisted.
Okay. And the next part after he twisted gives credence to the idea that he twisted to look, because the next word is and behold. Right?
The man.
No, not the man. Behold, Isha,
The woman.
a woman.
Ooh, don't ever get those mixed up. You saw a woman now, Shakavet.
Now we know it's from Shakal. We've been having Shakal
Lie down.
to lie down, but what's the et? What in the world is going on with the et?
Why are we having Shakavet on? Might have to get the Briggs and Stratton out now. I don't know. I'm lost.
Let's pull out the grammar again. Now I realize I'm pointing you in the right place very quickly, right, in the grammar. You may spend a long time on your own looking at the grammar for these things. But I'm looking on page, come on now, so look at the table of construct, table of contents, come on now. Look at them somewhere in the neighborhood of page 259. 258.
Oh, we have a singular and a functional ending.
That's right. But look at the whole word over there to the left of that. Cal active participle, feminine singular, is cotelet, which is cotelet on the map, which is pretty close to what we have here, isn't it? We have show kevet. It's exactly the same, just a different word, right? You see it? So you see a cal participle, feminine singular.
Because we have the two Chagals with the ta ending, feminine.
The et ending is the big clue to that. Remember the participle ending?
Right.
Blank, et or ah, and im and ot. So the thing that really clues me that that's a participle is that et ending. Right? Cal participle. So, how would you translate it? Behold, a woman.
Laid down.
Lying.
Lying.
A woman
Lying at the place of his feet.
lying at his feet. That's right. All right, very good. Now, who would you like to do the next verse?
Colby.
Colby? All right. Who would you like, Colby, to help you?
Oh.
How about Sean? Okay.
I guess it's my turn. Professor Stanley? Okay.
We get to have me here. That's pretty cool.
Vayomer la vaz laat.
Wait a minute now.
I think the verse. Pick a different one.
Verse 9.
Vayomer miat.
Oh, yeah, okay. There we go.
Vayomer
Mm-hmm.
anoki.
Good.
Root. Amathak.
Amataka.
Amatika. Uva rushat. Knafaka. Al Amataka. Ki. Goyle. Attack. All right. Back with the netbook. There we go. And he said, "Who are you?"
That's right.
And she said, "Ruth." Or she said, "I am Ruth." And then I'm stuck. Amatika. I'm clueless.
Okay, all right. Well, do you see anything you recognize? You might recognize the final cough.
Yes. Recognize final cough is a two. You know what? two.
That's right.
Trying to think of that. Two MS suffix.
Okay.
It's a pronominal suffix meaning you, masculine.
Okay.
But amat, I don't recognize. Amat.
Well, that's just a vocabulary issue. Let's see if Einspar gives us any help here. Yeah, it does. Ama.
I bet because the T is
So it's a 2 MS.
Yeah,
the tav that goes
becomes
to the
a
hey because you know it's.
Okay, that makes
So I am Ruth.
I'm Ruth, your maid.
Yeah, there you go. Very good.
And then Uparashata. Okay. Well, the sure to begin with.
Yeah. All right. You know that's the shurik. Anything you recognize there? Well, are we seeing a performative?
I don't believe so.
No performative, because that's going to be yod, that's going to be tav, that's going to be olive, or maybe a nun. Right? So no performative. Am I seeing an ending? A
Subformative. And
so blank ta. Oh, there we go. 2 fs. Right? Or, no, sorry, 2 ms. So
there's no dog that shows a cal imperfect.
we're not imperfect, because that has to have a performative.
Oh, that's right. It's got the cal perfect there anyway. Paras.
Paras, yeah. So it's going to be a cal perfect, right? Blank ta. So again, it's a perfect used in an imperatival sort of way. No dogish, but you wouldn't have a dogish in the resh anyway, even if it were PO. The resh can't take a dogish. But I do have regular cal vowel points there, so I'm not going to worry about that. So it's going to be a cal perfect, right?
2 MS.
2 MS. So, and Einspar helps me on that one.
Spread out.
That's right. Very good.
Okay. And spread out. You spread out.
Mm-hmm.
And then nafak. I'm trying to think. That's to spill, right?
Well, no. We have that same suffix here, ka. My vocabulary word is
infinitive. It has to be an infinitive construct.
No. That kaf this time is part of the vocabulary word, kana. I mean, that's a good thought. Maybe it could have been the preposition, but it's not here.
So not extremity.
That's right. That's the word for wing. And here we only have one, but wing or if you're not on a bird or something, wing or extremity, right? Here we're talking about the edge of your blanket. So,
all right.
So spread out the edge of your garment or whatever, the edge of what's covering you, right?
Okay. Spread out your extremity. That blanket. Wrapper.
Wrapper. There you go.
All could be on or upon, right?
Yeah. Right. Good.
On the maid. On your maid.
Excellent.
Oh, cover me. Is that what she's saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're my redeemer.
Very good. You are a goel. You are a close kinsman or a kinsman redeemer.
And the app tells you. So, okay, cool.
Nice. Very good. See, you guys are progressing along, aren't you? Right?
Pizza.
What's that mean?
A little bit.
A little bit.
So it reminds me of the Caesar commercial. Pizza. That's something.
All right. Vayomer Baruka At Layla Biti Hetavta Chasdek Ha'acharon Min Ha'rishon Labilti Leket Acharei Habachurim Im Dal Va'im Ashir. Well, that's a long one. I don't want to do a long one. All right, so Vayomer, and he said, Baruka. What is Baruka? Well, it's from Barak, Is to bless. How would we parse this here? You hear that in a lot of like Jewish prayers. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu. Blessed are you, Baruch atah Adonai for Yahweh. O Lord Eloheinu, our God. But what is this Baruch here? Baruch.
There was one that said sure that we just looked at.
And we're just in that page, right? So it's a well noticed there. We're looking around page 2.
Infinitive absolute. Bless.
No. Participle. It's a participle. That's right. And so 264. Page 264. That's where we're at. As you can see, the feminine form there, katula. That's exactly the form we have here. All right, so it's a passive participle. So blessed. So it's kind of used. It's used adjectivally here, right?
Blessed are you.
So blessed are you, right? La Adonai. Blessed are you by Yahweh. Now it could mean may you be blessed by Yahweh, my daughter. I kind of lean toward you are blessed by Yahweh, or you have been blessed by Yahweh. However you want to take that. That's an interpretive issue. Blessed are you by Yahweh, my daughter. Hey tavt, right? Chasdeka. So hey tavt is going to be from Yatav, right? To be good. It's going to be a perfect because it has t. So blank ta t. So 2 fs, right? So I'm forgetting why it has a hey on the front of it. Let me think about that for a second. It could be because it's a hifil. It's possible, but I don't think so. That's not going to work. What does the computer say?
For which one?
For hey tavta.
Just hifil perfect, second person feminine singular.
That's weird. Hifil perfect. Well, where's the hirik yod? See, that's an odd form. It doesn't have a hirik yod in it. So there's an odd form. So it's a hifil. Strange. This guy at Sarai. That might, you know why that probably happens that way? Because the stem has a yod in it. Yes, it doesn't want to repeat the yod again. Another letter after that. You see what I mean? All right. Thanks for that help. Chesed is loyal, loving kindness or act of kindness or something, and then the kaf is a feminine 2fs suffix, right? So your chesed, your act of kindness, your loyalty, your loyal love, however you want to translate that, your loyal love is good, ha-acharon, the one after. So your later act of kindness is good from the first. And so what's happening here is it's a comparative. Your later act of kindness is better than. So when you have the min, that's a indicator of a comparative thing going on. Is better than your first. So she, in a sense, is offering herself to him, and that he takes as an offer, an act of kindness, right? And that's better than the first act of kindness, which may be referring to her relationship with Naomi. And this is a kind of a strange thing here. Lavilti in this context meaning not laket, not going after. That's from halak, right? Not going after the young men, literally if poor and if rich, not going after the young men whether poor or rich. So not going after a good-looking young man even though he doesn't have money, or not going after a young man with a lot of money but he's young, whatever. Right, so Boaz apparently isn't so young, and he would be because he's pretty well-to-do, it looks like. Right? So that's how that goes.
And another, if you think about it, which we all have, if Naomi knows him, but she's been gone a long time, she must have known him from before she left, right?
Knew him by
Verse
name.
9 is interesting. He says, I love it. She's pretty bold. He says, and who are you? And she says, I'm your maid Ruth. Cover me with your blanket. You know, it's like she steps right in there and says, she lays next to his feet, covers his feet, and says, cover me up. She's, kind of a feminist, progressive, not demure, I guess is what the...
Yeah, remember Ruth is telling her to do this. Not Ruth. Naomi is telling Ruth to do this.
Okay.
Remember before Naomi said, you'll see where he lays down and lay down and uncover his feet, blah, blah, blah. Right? So Naomi told Ruth to do this. And Naomi is a relative of Boaz. This is a close relative of Boaz. So it's not like it's just coming out of the blue. And it's coming based on the idea that Boaz is a kinsman redeemer.
And so he had to tell her he knew that when she says, you're my kinsman redeemer. But he really wasn't her kinsman redeemer. He was Naomi's kinsman redeemer.
But he was hers because she was married to, Naomi's son, a close relative of Boaz.
Okay.
It's interesting, huh? Interesting to know how much of this is cultural, how much of this is Naomi's plan. You know what I'm saying?
Well, who's she listening to? What a story. What's she under? Is she doing this because Naomi, her mother-in-law, said to do this, or is there is there some sort of affection, or we know what resulted? But it seems so tender. I mean, the whole idea, I don't know what laying next to his feet is, but it just seems so nice.
Well, it's humbling too to her.
Yeah.
Laying next to his feet is somewhat humbling. But they're desperate. They have nothing. They're only going to eat if someone is kind to them. So, and remember, Naomi says, should I not seek rest for you or security for you? So they're trying to figure out how they're going to survive this, right?
So it's good to give someone the opportunity to be kind to them.
Yeah, well, who did you glean with Boaz? And he was really good to me. He really treated me well. Okay, let's take advantage of this. Go lay on his feet and see what happens.
So if you ever find yourself camping and a woman laying at your feet, Colby, your proper response is,
who are you?
Boy, I'm turning the camera off now.